sports fans? It's your boy, the sports reporter without pay, coming at you with our part 3 of the NBA midseason review. If you haven't already, go check out part 1 and part 2. This is part 3. We're going to jump into our first half all-star starters, all-NBA, and some power rankings. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can be up to date with all the latest content when it come out. Without further ado, let's just jump right into it. First thing we got to do, fans, we have to understand how this all-star stuff works. When you tell people like, hey, who's your all-stars, and they just run off some random names, we got to understand. You got 3 front court players, 2 backcourt players. And just as far as the bench, is the same thing. 3 front court, 2 backcourt, then you get to utilities. Y'all be making these all-star rosters with 12 guards on it. No, it don't work like that. And we only gonna do the starters today. So in the Eastern Conference, listen, I know KD is hurt. He probably won't play in the game, but he deserves his spot as an all-star starter. So in the front court, we're going to go with Kevin Durant, Greek, and Embiid. That is just way too easy. And because the NBA cheated, the Chicago Bulls have a starting lineup of Lonzo Ball and Zach LaVine in the backcourt all year. DeMar DeRozan has started at small forward. He got to playing well. NBA didn't want him to have to compete with those 3 guys I just named, so they put him on the ballot as a guard. And since the NBA cheated, put him on the ballot as a guard, we're going to start him and LaVine at guards in the Eastern Conference. Harden started the season slow. He's kind of picking it up now. Trae Young ain't winning enough games. Give me LaVine and DeRozan. Way too easy. And the Western Conference, a little more tricky. The guard spots is real easy. We're going to go with Steph Curry and Ja Morant. Way too easy. The 2 front court spots that are no-brainers is LeBron James and Nikola Jokic. I almost forgot his name. Nikola Jokic and LeBron James. Way too easy. That third spot is where it get kind of tricky, right? You got Draymond Green not putting up great numbers, but they're winning and he's facilitating and playing defense like he used to. You have Rudy Gobert, who's doing what he does for a winning team, right? Rebounding, blocking shots, anchoring a really good defense. But we're going to go a little further down in the standings. They're winning games. They're sitting right now. They will be in the play-in. And I'm going to go with my boy Karl Anthony Towns, having another one of those type seasons, shooting 50-40 from the field, averaging 25 and 9. Like, Cat is a monster. And with his team winning some games, he's finally deserving of the type of recognition that I've always wanted him to have anyway. So in the West, we're going to go with Cat, LeBron, Jokic, Steph Curry, Ja Morant. But sports reporter, I'll pay you can't have 2 centers. Yes, you can. It's 3 front court players and 2 back court. And once they get into the starters, it ain't gonna matter no way. They gonna pick the 2 captains and they gonna get to pick their team. So they might not wind up playing together anyway. But that's who I'm putting as my starters for the East and the West. So let's go ahead and jump into our All-NBA teams. We're going to start off with the 3rd team at that center position. We're going to go with Jared Allen. Yes, I am going to reward the Cleveland Cavaliers winning and him anchoring that defense. Also, of note, we need to remember that all-star teams and all-NBA do not work the same. All-NBA teams, you have a center, 2 forwards, and 2 guards. Don't ask me why it works that way. It just does work that way. All-stars, 3 front court, 2 back court. The all-NBA teams does still have a spot reserved for the center. So we're going to put Jared Allen on the 3rd team at that center spot. The 2 forward spots, we're going to go with LeBron James and Draymond Green. Draymond Green, first off, the forwards... Pickens is slim. Not a lot of forwards are having great seasons. A lot of really good guard play this year. But Draymond Green, again, anchoring that defense, facilitating. Golden State Warriors are winning games. LeBron James, the Lakers are underwhelming, but they are still sitting in the 7th seed, and he is playing absolutely lights out. It's kind of too hard to ignore his numbers. I mean, they're not sitting in the top 3 seed, but they are in the playoff picture, and he's playing at an extremely high level. At the guard spots, closing out my 3rd team, Donovan Mitchell. Again, we're going to reward the Utah Jazz winning. He's doing what he's done year in, year out. He's going to get you his 25 points per game. He's going to be their closer. He's going to be the guy that sparks their offense. Chris Paul is rounding out that last guard spot. Again, we're going to reward Phoenix winning. His numbers aren't that great. Only 13 points per game, but he was leading the league in assists for most of the year. James Harden's kind of caught up with him. They're neck and neck at about 10 assists per game, but Chris Paul is having a phenomenal season. The Phoenix Suns have the best record in the NBA, and that has to count for something. On our 2nd team at that center position, Nikola Jokic. Denver Nuggets are, underwhelming by their standards. We accept them. We expected these guys, for the past couple of seasons to be one of the top 2, 3, 4 teams in the West. They're sitting down in that 6-7 range, but Nikola Jokic is doing what he does, having a phenomenal season, and only one center's been better than him, and we should know who that guy is. At those 2 forward spots, I'm going to go with DeMar DeRozan. But Sports Reporter without pay, you had him as a guard on your All-Star team. If you pay attention to these All-NBA ballots, they have certain players that they put on there as guard/forward, where they can qualify for All-NBA at multiple positions. If you go look at Anthony Davis' career, he has numerous All-NBA selections at the center position. And he also has All-NBA selections at power forward. Same thing with a guy like Paul Gasol, where you can play multiple positions. Amari Stoudemire, right? A guy like DeMar DeRozan, who's playing small forward for Chicago, but they have him on the ballot as a guard, who will probably be on the All-NBA ballot qualifying for both positions. I'm going to put him at the forward position on my second team, and the other position, I'm going to get a Jimmy Butler. He's been in and out the lineup, but when he's been in the lineup, he has been great. The Miami Heat, they're sitting at the top of the Eastern Conference, right back and forth with Chicago. And he's having an outstanding year. Rounding out my second team at those two guard spots, we're going to go with Zach LaVine. Right, I put DeMar DeRozan at the 4. We're gonna put Zach LaVine at the guard spot on second team All NBA. This last spot on my second team, Luka Doncic. Like, he's underperforming, I guess, by these lofty standards that he set for himself, but got averaging 25, 9, and 8, and we're acting like he's not having a great season. And lo and behold, watch out. The Dallas Mavericks have won 10 of their last 11 games and have climbed the standings, are sitting right on the outside of that top 4 in the Western Conference. Be on the lookout for Luka to possibly make an MVP push if Dallas can keep winning games, right? Moving on to the first team, center spot, very easy. Joel Embiid, absolutely balling. As I'm making this video, just dropped a 50-piece. He's killing, playing like the best center in the league, both sides of the ball. The boy is balling. No need to talk about it more. The 2 forward spots, very easy. Greek and KD, both these guys are in the runnings for MVP. We know KD just went out, but as of the making of this video, I cannot find it in my mind to put another forward ahead of him on this All-NBA first team for the first half of the season. He deserves that much. 2 guard spots was easy too. We're going to go with Ja Morant and Steph Curry. Both those guys are playing at an extremely high level, have their team winning, in a position to be top 3 in the Western Conference. That's my All-NBA first team. And last but not least, we're going to do our power rankings. We're going to just do the top 5 teams for the first half of the season. This is inclusive of the entire first half of the season. Coming in at number 5, I have the Philadelphia 76ers. Team that's just been flying under the radar. Nobody's really paying a lot of attention. Chicago with all their new toys playing well. Milwaukee's the reigning champs. Brooklyn with the big 3. And there's Philly just flying under the radar with their big man playing like the best big in the league, finally putting it all together like we've been hoping he could do. He's healthy, he's playing well, and Philly is right there in that mix of those top 5 teams in the East that are all within about 2 games of each other, and he doesn't have a second piece like that. Like I've told people over and over, Tobias Harris is now forced in a role that he was never meant to be because the Australian don't want to play, right? So Joel Embiid is going out there and has Philly contending, and he's the lone star, and he has them there. I have them coming in at number 5 in my power rankings. At number 4, we're going to go with the Memphis Grizzlies. Again, they're playing at a high level. They playing together. They playing hard. They playing team ball. Ja Morant is a star. Taylor Jenkins got them boys just flat out balling. Nothing left to be said. Memphis Grizzlies coming in at number 4. Nobody should have any heartburn with that. Coming in at number 3, the Brooklyn Nets. KD just went out, but right when KD goes out, they get Kyrie Irving back. And we saw last year, the way the Brooklyn Nets looked like, KD missed a game, Kyrie missed a game, Harden missed a game, and those guys just chugged along and kept winning games. They have that kind of star power where even with Kevin Durant out, you still have a Kyrie Irving and a James Harden. First half of the year, they looked great. A lot of that was under, the leadership and the great play of KD. But with him out, I think James Harden and Kyrie can at least keep the boat afloat till he comes back. But as the first half of the season, they come in at number 3 on my power rankings. Number 2, the Golden State Warriors. They had that shock factor. Nobody expected them to be this good. Like we expected them to pop. With last year, Steph Curry leading that team to the play-in. You expect them to come back this year and possibly be good. And then you just got players coming out of nowhere playing great. Jordan Poole is playing good. Andrew Wiggins is looking good as we've ever seen him. The numbers aren't much better, but he just looks more engaging. He doesn't look lazy. He looks like he's actually playing hard. Gary Payton II, where did he come from? Golden State Warriors, number 2 on my power rankings. Number 1, I call them pretenders, but you have to give them credit for what they've done. They've had the best record in the NBA the entire first half of the season. some moments back and forth with Golden State, but as the making of this video, they do have the best record in the NBA. The Phoenix Suns. Chris Paul is doing what Chris Paul does. He's being a floor general. He's being a leader. They've dealt with injuries all year. DeAndre Ayton's been out. They're winning games with Bismack Biyombo and JaVale McGee at center. Devin Booker missed 8 games. They went 6-2. All those young boys just plugging and playing, coming in, playing. They picked up Landry Shamet in the offseason. Cam Johnson's playing well. Cam Payne is playing well. Like, the whole team is just clicking on all cylinders, and they're winning games. So for the first half of the season, we're going to go with the Phoenix Suns at number 1. And that concludes part 3 of my NBA midseason review. Hope you checked out all 3 of them. If you haven't, go back, check out part 1 and part 2. Like I always say, like this video and get in those comments. You talk to me and I'll talk back. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get the latest content when I drop it. Until the next time, it's your boy, Sports Reporter Without Pay.